Hello gamers! What's up boys? Another YouTube video for you today. I'm trying to make one every day now, trying to put more effort into this YouTube thing, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna play one of my, again, favorite tier 9s, or one of the tier 9s I like a lot, which is the TNH, the time before the VZ55. And this tank is sweet. And let me tell you, I really enjoy playing this tank all around. Reason being is it just has a very solid turret, very solid hold on potential, really good alpha as well. Pen is, not the greatest, but for the alpha, a 2-shot autoloader, and a pretty hard turret to hit cupola wise as well. We got Westfield from the good side, but you can see a lot of my team deciding that they do not want to play up today on Westfield, which is okay, it's their choice. We're always going to be playing up here. That is a brave LT432, may I add to that comment. Nobody crossing over, which is also pretty interesting. Pretty weird even. Not see a single tank crossing. We're gonna peek up here now. We always peek left first to punish somebody crossing to the A3 hole. And then we always start playing up on this area. We get a good pen against this man in his 50 TP. We even spot out the Uras in the back. This is just a little bit too much of a peek though. There is a 30 still crossing. I do not think I would ever be fast enough to shoot that. Tried to get the shot on the Pershing, didn't work out. 20 seconds reload now. Get one shot for free. Get some assist against the Uras as well. So we're pretty chilling. We gotta be careful here though, because the enemy team outnumbers us by quite a margin. We have 3 people capping, which would be a shame if they actually do cap it out. However, it is a potential at this moment in time that we do get capped. I'm not really seeing who of my enemy team is going to stop this. We got a good pen here against this man. Got a good pen as well against the Italian TD. We trade for that though. The cap does get interrupted for a brief moment in time by the LT432. Some resets coming out as well. Now only 2 people capping anymore. I am going to be running away because you cannot hold this side against this number of enemy tanks. So it's very important that you do not sit here to just die. I readjust here. I line up the 50 TP. I give him one. I don't give him the second one. The aim is fine though, in my opinion. But however, we don't get rewarded for it. We gotta be very careful here now though. I want to do one more clip and then run away further. But this is a risk. Like a big risk to take actually. We'll see if it works out for us though. We have 5 seconds left on our clip. We just want to do one more clip and get out. 50p is still giving us his side and underplay. So we get 1 pen, Italian TD on the side, a secondary pen. We may actually be able to stay here at this moment in time. 15 seconds left on reload. T95 is going to push the Kunze Panther. 12 seconds left now. We still have to be careful of pushing and pattern though. I do have a Skoda with me. I do have a decent position as well to play from. Because I'm a bit hold on towards the right, so they can't really peek me as easily. T95 underplayed. Give 1. Just looking for the track weak spot, then finally give 2, 966. Good rolls there, Jesus. 491, 475. Almost felt like I'm playing the VZ55 at that moment in time. So the readjustment here is very good, very important. It rewards us immensely to do this. We would probably be dead if we stayed because they would be overpeaking us from multiple angles. So we're gonna now try and get the E75 out. I actually got the roll on him as well. Now I'm gonna look for the T95. Aim at his cupola, aim, shoot, miss. Not the greatest surprise there. The T95, however, not able to push us. We're getting a decent amount of assist out of this as well. And like I said, this position is actually kind of decent because like I am hold down towards the guy trying to peek me from that side. Now their tank falls, which is the T95, which again gives us the opportunity to now start moving through the outside here to pressure the Pershing, who may pressure me first. He tries to get the shot, he doesn't connect. I mean, it is a Pershing after all. We have 4k damage, we didn't really miss too much. Now we see a 30 driving through open, we give 1 to him, then we give 1 to the Patton as well. Might get picked up by the Skoda. 18 seconds left to reload, and this tank is just a nice warm-up to the VZ55, right? It has everything the VZ55 has, and even has a smaller cupola, which makes it arguably maybe slightly better turret-wise as well. We can debate about that statement. but I like this turret a lot because of that. Small cupola, hard to hit. Move on to the Pershing. I'm a dirty premium spammer. Pick up the Pershing as well, 5.5. A very, very good battle again, and I'm going to be moving towards the damage now in the hopes that my team does not cap, which it does seem unlikely that they will not cap at this moment in time. The 274 might be driving out of it though. Yeah, he does drive out actually, so maybe there is something to find here on the chart for tour. Very maybe. We're speeding towards it as fast as we can. He's starting to take damage, so right click, left click simulator. We'll give one. Don't get a second one, but we get a nice 5.8k battle in this. I mean, it's a very solid result. Very good battle. We did get to play from the good side of Westfield, which does add up to it. Solid stuff, solid game. 2.5k assist as well. Really, really good game. Just a tremendous tank. And again, tier 9 is such a sweet spot. For me, tier 9 is such a sweet spot. You have so many good tanks. The MM is a lot more gentle on you than tier 10. You can get away with more mistakes. Sometimes get to play against tier 7s, but in general I prefer playing against 9s and 8s. On this tier it's perfect. Even a few tier 10s is not that bad, so you know, very solid damage. The Skoda also getting a lot out. Just performance wise pretty good. In the two setups that I use, it's HP, vents and stabs. Then on the other setup, it is HP, turbo, stabs as well. For the field mods, we'll go over it quickly. It's basically the same as on any other heavy. We take the terrain speed. Again, reminding you, you can get tracked in one shot even when you use hardening. Because of the minus suspension durability, aiming circle size, then the extra view range, and then here I have the extra forward speed because it is just nice to have the extra forward speed, especially when going downhill, reaching that top speed all the time to get to the battle, to get to the engagement. And just like with the Tortoise and a lot of other tanks, this tank has AP and APCR. If you are in the credit capabilities to shoot full APCR, you can, you don't have to. It makes it better. There's no downside to shooting APCR over AP. So it is just up to you. You can also still have a loadout that is more half-half balanced. With AP for when you're playing against tier 8s, intuition is a great thing to have. In this regard, it helps you a lot with that to reload the clip to AP if you do have the time for it when you know you're going to be shooting at a lower tier. Now, we get a Overlord battle. MM wise, less great than, for example, the last one, because there is the triple Borask, which is, you know, a tank you can't really chase, so it's going to be hard to fight against that. They have the tier 80Ds, which are also going to be hiding. And then a lot of tier 9s though. Not really scared of any of their tier 9s outside of the Concept 1B. I don't need to be fast, so I go with HP, vents, and stabs. I only use the HP turbo setup when it's a large map and I want to get into position quicker and earlier. In this case, it does not matter that I get there slightly earlier, because the distance I have to go is not very big. We don't go beach, we always play 4 or 5 line because it's the most consistent play, in my opinion, that yields the most return. In general, but a tank that does have a turret that can peek that. Not as good to play this position from this side as from the other side. The other side just seems to be a bit better at it. But let's see if we can find something here in the beginning. We have to be careful when peeking because they could counter peek us and shoot us in the turn. There's also the rock to pay attention to that could also shoot back at us. We see the Concept 1B here. And like I said, the Concept 1B is going to be the biggest threat here. There is a little Borask on my outside though. I'm going to try something for the boys that are watching this. I'm going to be loading an HG clip here against the Borask. But it seems like my man in the Borask is very, very safe. So I'm going to transition back to the APCR clip. And that's why intuition is such a nice skill to have. In general, it allows you to just quickly switch back to another ammo type. It's a great skill all around. And I'm watching the Concept 1B. If he wants to pick up, he will expose his side turret if he decides to do so. He doesn't do it here though. Try to get the pen. Not working out. I'm keeping one more shot in case the Borask is on my outside here. Actually peeking, so I can shoot him. He is peeking. I missed that shot. He gives me one. Gotta be careful here. Double Borask actually there, which is weird. Don't see that too often. When there's tanks in this area, you cannot play this here. You have to play more towards the right, which is what I'm going to do. The T10, not really over peeking. The peek I have to make for him is exposed against the Concept 1B and the T30. So I don't really want to do it, but he does seem to. It seemed like he wanted to cross and then stopped it. Bit of a Unfortunate timing there altogether. I'm going to pretend like I'm not looking at him to give him an opportunity to cross after all, which I don't think he is doing, sadly. It would be great if he did, but he's not doing it. Don't really want to peek that with the T30 there. T30 is a very large threat to me. T10, however, seems to have reversed too much now. I used the gun especially there for a second, so I'm not going to be connecting the first one. However, I do get it on the second one. The concept will be spotted out now. So one shot here. Not the greatest of starts. My team has also won the middle and 9-0 line, so it is not looking like it's going to be too great of a game because of the way that this battle is evolving. And we can now, however, play on the bunker here with what has happened, which allows me with an easy one to clip into the Burasks over there. If I can lower my gun enough. I wanted to shoot the other one because he was more in the open, but then again, this one was still a fine shot, so we got a good clip there. 1.3. In general, on tier 9s, I aim about 4k. DPG wise, I think you should be aiming potentially a bit lower than that, around the ranges of 3k. Anything past 3k is going to be pretty solid. I'm in a tier 9, so now I see the other Burask, who does seem to be pretty aware of how to drive. Good stuff there, sir. I kind of want to get out of proxy spot though. The Burask is now driving across, which gives me an opportunity to re-peek him. There we go. Give one, track him, okay. Give him a second one. Of course we would want to connect the shot, but we don't, and it is what it is. Like, we can't do anything about it. This gun is not ultra accurate, nor should it be ultra accurate, because it would make it way too powerful. So we just take what we can. You could have intuition here to AP to shoot the Burask. Of course, Brass has 0 armor. I am indeed just like kind of wasting credits when shooting at this. But we get the shot there against him to pick him up. I want to peek out, see if I can maybe find the Borsig sitting in the open because he was last spotted there. I do achieve this. Aim all the way, give him a shot. Up at 2.5k damage now. They still have 9k left. Bit more potential left for me in this one. I could wide peek here, shoot the T30 as well, but I gotta be careful from the TNH, who's also sitting there and peeking out, and then the Borsig in the back. If I'm not proxy spotted, however, I think I will make the T-peek against the T30, which is a very large peek to make. The Borsig is peeking against me, so I give one to the Borsig. He fires his shot, which is good for me. Then the TNH is peeking here, who misses his first shot. I'm okay with taking one. I give him the shot. I instantly repair, because the Borsig's gonna come off reload in a few seconds. We don't want to take a shot from him, which we don't. 3.3k damage, so a good clip coming out there against that man in the TNH. And the Borsig now, our T30 has a small gun, shoots their T30. It is time to put some more pressure. We want maximum damage, so we're going to be shooting the T10 every single time. And then we're going to be just killing off the Concept 1, not the Concept 1B. We're going to be killing off the TNH to then do the clips on the lower side against the tanks remaining there. Good shot. Concept 1B fell back towards A-line. Turtle still has 866 HP. This mod that shows you the HP of tanks is just a very useful one to have in general. I want to peek here, see if the Turtle is here. He is indeed. He is below me. I have 5 seconds left before I can clip him, which I will. He cannot release it safe for me there. He could potentially shoot me back. When I shoot him easily through the roof, give him 1. Give him 2, bit of a low roll on the second one, and the first one, 4.5k damage, which is a very good result for a 12-4 scoreline at this moment in time. It is, however, looking rather unlikely to do more than this. However, 4.5k again. That is a good game by no doubt whatsoever. That is very solid. Solid is the word. Trying to hit his hatch there. Not achieving it, but 4.5k, we take it, we'll be happy with it. Good game again. This game was pretty fast, so we tried to do our best in the farming potential. My team did very well winning the middle and 9-0 line, which partially was also down to the Burasks being in weird positions. The Barask position in general, though, it's not a bad one. You can put a heavy there with a turret and actually counter the ridge where I'm peeking to force only peaks towards the right side. But it is very committed. It's not somewhere where you can really run away from. All in all, again, top damage in this tank. Solid stuff. Now we go on to the third battle. And on all these tanks, like on this one and the VZ, it's almost always worth it to get a bigger gun, just because of the fact that you get that 2-shell autoloader, and you may be like, but the single shooter is good as well. Yeah, the single shooter is indeed fine. However, the upgrade to being able to just like dish out 2 shells in a short amount of time, less exposure time, less chance to take damage. Of course, you gotta hit the clip, right? Which is, you know, where the single shooter has advantage. If you miss, it's not as painful. But just the exposure time from the clip with the 2 shells is just amazing. And this tank in general is solid. On paper, like TPM is not high at all, but it's one of those things where DPM really is just a lie in a way, because of burst potential. Like burst potential is so important. Clip, burst, where you're able to, like I said, to expose less, lose less HP, make better trades. Now we get Erlenberg, a tier 8-9 battle where they have a 704 and a T30. 704 definitely not going to be pushing the city. T30 could, probably will. Treffer probably on the offside. VZ 50 DP potential in the city. Love it, T77. The rest of their tanks could be city. They don't really work that well in the city, however. I'm going to be driving towards the 5 line. When I have this spawn, I always drive towards the 5 line here to go behind the hold down to then peek this gap to shoot somebody crossing over the 6 line, which gives me usually a free clip. We would also maybe shoot somebody crossing over 1-2, however that's usually less reliable to do or to pay attention to. I'm going to be switching again towards APCR. Call me a dirty premium spammer all you want. It doesn't really matter, nor do I really, you know, get bothered by this whatsoever. And there we see that I have my first shot that doesn't connect, and the second one that doesn't connect either. That's unfortunate. He's driving at a good angle. Not able to punish him. I'm gonna let him go despotted now and go up further if he wants to, because when he does go behind the building, like he does, I'm gonna be pushing up on the 5-6 line to counter his position behind the hold down, which is usually my next move at this moment in time. I could also peek the VZ heavy, which is gotta be careful. There's a T77 here. I take 2 shots crossing over here. I do get into a side scrape. I give my 2 shots back to the T77. You always do have to be careful from that window, especially in higher tiers when there could be high alpha guns there. It is a danger, but I don't really mind taking some damage to take the position, because I know what this can do. I can now go here, counter the 50 TP. I don't want to peek into the T77 again. The VC will be for later, because the 50 TP has nowhere really to go. When you spot a tank there like a 704 with big alpha, you just peek from here. We line it up, we give him 1. We're gonna go for the second one as well. That one misses out, however, sadly. No second shell. Could have given it to the 50 TP, would probably have been the better choice in this moment in time. Just remember this little window position that does allow you to peek those people like the 704 that are sitting there. It did look like he was reversing out, so I'm going to be giving my clip now to the 50 TP, who's been waiting for quite a while now to get killed by me, but I'm going to finally give him what he wants. Give him 1, 403, now in for the low plate. Give him the second one, pick him up. So a clean kill, 2k damage. Now we can see behind us, T77, 1 shot in the window, Wheezy, 2 shots behind him. We can peek the T77. I don't want to quite yet though. I want to shoot at these guys. It's not the hardest shot in the world, and I do want to give them a little bit of a treat as well in their UDAS 13-15. I'm going to need him to shoot though, for me to be able to retaliate against him. He shot, we missed the shot. That is unfortunate, but alright at the same time. He peeked back up. We could have clicked there. We're going to click now, though. Both shells going high. It is what it is. You can't do anything about the shells going high. Unfortunate. This guy is having an unfortunate run-in with HE at the meantime. And it seems that in the meantime, the T77 has decided to back off and bail away. Crossing this gap, a little bit risky, because we are exposed for a second or two towards the enemy team. But now we can side scrape this area over here. We give 1. We're going to give him the second one. We give him the second one. We go safe now because the SU-101 is still there, but he is crossing over, so we can cross over as well. And start chasing them down. We do have to be careful though. There's still a T30 unspotted who could be behind this wall down here. I didn't really properly track it, but you know, I didn't think he would be there. Most T30 players really don't play their tank to be a heavy. Woo! Big ammo rack there on the back of the SU-101. I'm going to be reloading instantly. I'm spotted anyways. You don't want to peek this or this when you're spotted because of the fact that they have those tanks at the ridge. The Lev is also making an interesting move here. 10 seconds left. Let's see if we get anything from it. You can see what's happening to the man that's sitting on the gap. That's the T-30 shooting from A0. Or the Borsig with the big gun. More likely to be the T-30 though. My man there died. I missed that shot, which is quite unfortunate if you may add. The Lev is actually in a pretty solid position. I'm going to instantly reload here. Take my 20 seconds. Try and get despotted from the Lev so I can push up to him. Gotta be careful from the 704 though. It could have also been the 704 who shot the T10. But now that I am despotted, I'm going to be moving up. The Lev is going to pull back because it's natural instinct to pull back when you're sitting in that position, which does allow me to cross most of the distance towards the Lev. Give him one. I am very much getting punished for this. I now want to angle to the building because it's the safest way to sit towards all of the tanks. And now we gotta wait for the D spot. It was a trade that I made. Could have probably done it safer. Could have died for it as well. It was a risk that I took. Was it a calculated risk? I wouldn't go that far. But it does mean that I should be able to peek from behind the bush to get some spots and info. But it doesn't seem like I am spotting out anything. They could be behind this tree, would give them enough camo. Kind of waiting for a teammate to maybe push up on 0 line and spot them out. Let's ping it out. Let's see. We would need somebody to push 0 line to actually give us some info here. Looks like the Scorpion G is actually moving towards it though, which would be useful. Gotta be ready to double bush. We never get greedy here. We never not double bush. Okay, we get greedy here. We don't care. I aimed for that. Good clip though. Should still have double bush. Could have died if the 704 was still there. That is greed. You don't want to be greedy in most cases. I do be greedy because I don't know. I'm just greedy. I don't know. I was always like this. I've always been greedy. Now we stay here. We gotta peek a little further to actually see the T30. You can see it lining up with the indicator from the minimap. Pretty good shot against him. Side turret bendable as well. Checking for the 704. Maybe it's an easier shot. It's not. Give the second one to the T30. We got 6k damage out of this now. T77 unspotted. Borsig unspotted as well. They are low HP, however, but it does look to me like the 704 will be dead before we get a shot on him. We gotta be careful. Gotta turn our turret. There's the T77. We are pretty hold on towards him. If he hits the cupola, he deserves to hit it. We hit him instead, so we get him on. Now we're just waiting for the Borsig to be spotted. Don't think our Cobra is going to go for it. And the Borsig actually hits that. Nice shot, mate. He has 41 HP. Not missing out on too much. So overall, again, very solid tank. Very, very strong in hold down. Also, the 2 shots, the clip, the burst 880. With a good shell speed as well on the APCR. Overall, just a very, very good tank. Very nice to play. Very nice to have. A good warm-up for the VZ55. And just a solid all-around tier 9 that you can play and perform in. As always, I hope this video gives you some insight into the mind of the Killzer, I guess. Of how I approach the battle and what I am thinking when I am driving. And let's take a look at the score list. We get 6k damage in this battle. Overall, we get a result of 5.5 on the TNH over 3 games, which is very, very good, I would say. Just a solid session. Overall, all the YouTube videos I recorded today are just very solid sessions all around. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys all on the very next one. Let me know what you would like to see next. Let me know what you think, what I should change. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys all on the very next one. Peace, boys. Ciao, ciao.